Well, hello, welcome back to my kitchen. If you're new here, I'm Tina with Hanging with Frugal Tina. Welcome. Everybody else, welcome back. So, I do a lot of inexpensive meals. I do it all the time. Most of my meals for my large family are under $10. I see people out there going, "Oh, I spent $30 or $40 a meal for my family." I'm like, "Ugh, what are they eating?" Right? Because $40 a meal. For one meal? For a whole month? Part of my language, but it gets my panties in a bunch when I hear people spending that kind of money on one meal. Anyway, as I ramble, I'm going to do this entire meal on about $7. Now, one of the things I'm going to be using is potatoes. I'm only using maybe a third of the bag. And I got them on sale, so the potatoes are going to run me about 66 cents of what I'm using. So without further ado, let me get over there and show you what I'm going to make. But here we go again. Without further ado, let's get it. Let's go. Let's hit those pots. Come on. All right, here we go. You're going to need the Hawaiian rolls. I buy mine from Aldi's unless I see them somewhere else cheaper for two reasons. One, they're less expensive at Aldi's if you buy their brand. And two, it doesn't have dairy in it that Eric cannot have. Okay, so onward, forward. So you're going to need the Hawaiian rolls. You're going to need some potatoes. I'll pop it up on the screen. Potatoes are on sale at ShopRite, bowl and basket, $1.99. I'm not even using a third of that bag. You're going to need some cheese. What I do to cut corners is I buy what we call the plastic cheese from Walmart. I just happen to have that because my grandson bought it the other day. I'm going to need a pound of ground meat. I use ground turkey all the time. I can't really taste the difference. I mean, you can, but you really can't. It doesn't really matter. The onion. As you'll see, I don't put a number up charging myself for an onion on how expensive or inexpensive this meal is because it's not required for the meal. If I didn't have it, it wouldn't make or break the meal because A, I have onion powder or I have minced onion. So either way you look at it, if I took the onion out and used onion powder or minced onion, it would be a zero anyway. Only way I charge myself for an onion, if it's required. If you're having something with peppers and onions, well, then you need the onion. But here, you don't need it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start peeling up those potatoes. But before I do that, let me show you the other ingredients we're going to need for the staples. Here are the staples. Mayonnaise, some relish, oil if you're going to make your homemade French fries like I am. That's how I make it special. Like if I'm going to make a quick and an easy, I'll do something really quick that makes everything else seem spectacular. And that's what I'm going to do with those French fries. Some yellow mustard and some ketchup. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel up the potatoes and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to slice them into French fries. All right, so I'm going to do this one potato at a time so I don't peel up too many potatoes. And I have a bowl of water sitting here that I'm just going to throw the potatoes in as I'm cutting them so that they don't oxidize. There is a step we have to do with water, but not yet. So first thing I do is, and I'm going to do this by hand so that if you don't have a slicer, you could do it. I got a glove on this one because, whoop, cut myself trying to get everything out. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to try and cut your potatoes about the same width. And what I do is when I decide on the width, I'll do this and then I'll stick it to my knife. So we know about the same size of what we're doing. Okay? So that was right about there. Usually the potato will stick. I'm cutting at a weird angle so they're coming out thicker on one side than the other. But that's what you want to do. You want to keep them about the same size so that they cook properly in the fryer. And then you're going to decide how big. Do you want shoestring? Do you want what? It's that simple. So we're just going to cut these about like that size. So not a shoestring, but not a thick one either. So you just kind of do like that. And then your fries are about the same size. I'm likely going to cut these in half shorter, but for now, I'm just going to stick them in this water while I cut up the rest. So if I keep one out, boom. Boom. Just like that. Yeah. That made a ton of fries, but you got to remember, I'm cooking for 6 people, and several of them are boys, teenage boys, so I need a lot of potatoes. Instead of them filling up on the burgers, I make the side dishes the star of the show. I say it all of the time. The meat can't always be the star of the show. It's got to be the side dishes to fill up on and have proper serving portions of meat. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these potatoes, I'm going to rinse them really well, and I'm going to soak them in some ice cold water. And when I say ice cold, I mean ice in the water. I'll show you what I mean. Like so, literally ice in the water. It needs an ice cold bath. The reason for the ice bath is it takes out some of the starch, like the starchiness out of the French fries, and it makes them crispier. That's why we soak it in ice water. All right, before we start with the meat, let's dice up that onion. Watch how fast I chop up that onion. 1, 2, 3, all chopped up. I only needed half that onion. It was a large onion. Let's move on over to the stove. All right, so I'm gonna put the turkey. I'm using ground turkey. You could use ground beef if you like my makeshift Band-Aid. Bleeding pretty good. Gotta add your ground meat and your turkey, and your onion straight to the pan. And all we're gonna do right now is brown it all up. That's all you gotta do. Should turn this pan around a little bit the other way. Almost forgot, whenever I use turkey in place of beef, I add some Worcestershire sauce. That's a teaspoon. The cap is equal to 1 teaspoon. While this is doing its thing, we're going to move over and start the French fries. So just before I drop them, because I don't want to leave them all sitting out, I'm just going to pat them dry so they're not splattering with ice cold water into hot oil. Just like that. Before we start the fries, I don't have a deep fryer, so I'm going to do it a shallow fry in a pan. But we're going to drop the fries, and then we're going to take them out before they're done. And then we're going to re-drop them. But I don't want them to sit in oil. So what I do is I foil line a pan. Sometimes I put paper towels under there, and I stick a wire rack on it. And then we'll just re-drop them right before we're ready to eat. All right, so I have my tester in there just to see if it's at the right temperature. And I'm going to use a spoon to put it down in there because I'm afraid of I'm afraid of oil. I'm always afraid it's going to pop and burn me. So if you could drop them however you want, you could push them right in there. Maybe I will. I'll give it a go. Woo. This is only going to take about maybe a minute to 2. And I don't even know if I mean a literal minute or 2. I just mean a minute or 2. A moment or 2. That's the first batch I'm going to drop down. And we just got to let them fry. I'll show you what they're going to look like when they come out. Do not cook them until they're done. You're going to regret that decision if you do. Oh, and also get out whatever salt you're going to use. I'm going to use some either kosher salt or some sea salt. I'm not really sure which one I want. You see the bubbles starting to slow down? keep an eye on those for when I come back. I don't know if you could tell if it translates, but the bubbles had slowed down. The French fries are floating. I'm going to take those out and redrop the next ones. Anything with a slot in it is going to work for me. And see, they're white. They're not golden brown yet. Let me get those out of the pan. And that is the last of these. Let me show you what's going on with the others, and then we're gonna redrop these real quick, right before we eat. To this, we're gonna add a tablespoon of yellow mustard. Turn that down a little bit. 2 tablespoons sweet relish. 2 tablespoons of ketchup. I can tell you this, my kids are gonna want more relish than that, but that's the recipe. I'll give it a little taste and see how it is. It's still too hot, let me try it down. All right. I'm going to melt 2 tablespoons of butter in the microwave, and then we're gonna move on over to the counter again. And when these go in, we're going to redrop those fries so they all get finished at the same time. That's good. Okay, so I sliced the bread down the center best I could. Just gonna move that right there on the counter for right now. We're going to take our cheese and we're gonna lay it down over top. You could use cheddar, you could use whatever. And you could use 1 or 2 slices, you know, on the top or bottom. I'm not really sure which one I want to do yet. So that only took 5 slices of cheese. Then we're going to take our meat mixture and we're going to put it down right over top of that. Oop, I left the burner on. I heard something go flicker, flicker. It was the pan. Now while these go back in the oven, we're going to redrop those fries. Try not to burn myself. A pound of meat went pretty far. Okay, just going to smear that around. Do you guys want cheese on the top and the bottom or just on the bottom?
Top and bottom.
Top and bottom, they said. All right. So that's what we'll do. Try to make it even. All right. I think that's good enough. All right, they said top and bottom. Top and bottom it is. Okay, so then we're gonna put this on top. Whew. Okay. We're gonna take our butter that I melted too much of. It's not really butter, it's country crock vegetable spread. And we're just gonna brush the tops. Now this next step that I'm gonna do, I'm only doing it because I have it. Okay, here we go. Sesame seeds. I've had this pack forever. Okay, and I'm just gonna drizzle it down right on top. That's just for the pretty. It adds nothing else to it. All right, we're gonna put that in a 400-degree oven, I think. Yeah, 400-degree oven until everything's all melty and the buns are golden brown. So after we re-drop these fries, I'm gonna sprinkle it with a little bit of kosher salt on the other pan because our food is about to come out of the oven, so we want to be right on top of it. Right, I'm gonna drop these right back down in there. I hope I don't get burned. This is my biggest fear. Woo. Just gonna let them brown up and we are done. It's gonna take maybe about 2 minutes, if that. See, they're already that fast, they're browning up. I got my salt out. I'm ready to salt this batch. Sound like I said dispatch. That was funny. That's how quickly it got done, guys. Any more, they're gonna be too dark. And then take them out. I'm gonna turn it off for a minute so I can get around the camera. All right, can you see them over there? That's part of them. See how nice and golden brown they are? And I threw some salt on them. Ooh, burnt my finger. Let me get these all done. I'm gonna plate it up and I'll show you what the final product looks like. And there is the dairy-free. I keep wagging this stupid finger. Wait, other hand. There's a dairy-free one. That is done. So let me finish plating it all up. And there's my plate. I'm gonna meet you at the table.
If you get any benefit at all from my content, you can help me out by clicking like, share, commenting, and definitely hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video.
We're at the table. Let's just dive right in. Which one do you want to start with, the fry or the burger?
Fry.
Fry? All right. I'm going to just try it regular and then dip. Tastes like Mickey D's? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. We'll get a bigger one to dip in there. Ready? Mmm. Good, right? Mmm. It tastes like McDonald's. To me, anyway. All right.
Just pull a piece off.
Yeah, just get a square and bite down. Now, this should taste a little bit like the Big Mac.
Oh, all right.
A little bit.
It smells kind of like just sloppy joes.
Yeah. He eats the Big Macs at McDonald's, but he can't have the cheese. So now he's finally got something with a little bit of cheese on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You ready? Let's go. Mmm. Mmm.
That does.
That's really good. Mmm. I need a napkin though. Mm-hmm. You're gonna eat it all, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah. He's gonna go back for more fries. We just did a quickie plate so we can get over here and show you guys so I can feed everybody else. Awesome, right? All right. Let me get everybody else fed, see what they think, and I'll be back at the wrap up. Bye-bye. Dinner's over. How'd they do? Boom. Nothing but the scraps are left, and I think somebody's gonna eat that. So let's see what they thought about dinner. Nick, 2 questions. What did you think about dinner, and was it enough food?
I love dinner, and yes, it was enough food.
Awesome. Aiden, I have a different question for you. What did you think about dinner, and which was your favorite? Because I know he had enough because he walked away from his plate.
It was enough, and my favorite one was the french fries.
The french fries? All right, I think that's what Yaya was going to say too. Yaya, all 3 questions. Was it enough food? Which one did you like? And what was the other question? I forgot already. Which one did you like? Oh, how was dinner?
Dinner was amazing. It was enough, and definitely the french fries.
Definitely the fries, right? I knew she was going to say that. Same question.
Dinner was spectacular. It was enough. And I have no idea what they're talking about because that burger was amazing.
That burger was good. What about you, Tyler?
It was delicious. Loved it. It was very good. Fantastic. It tastes like a McDonald's cheeseburger, and the French fries were excellent.
And was it enough?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I couldn't finish mine. I passed it off to the kids, but I am a smaller eater. Like I was telling the kids, if you're going to do something, you're just going to throw it together. If you make one thing special, it makes the whole plate special. And those French fries were the special touch I put on, so the kids felt like they were really having something great. They all thought it tasted like McDonald's, so I'm happy with that. So there you have it. I hope you try it. I hope you like it. Don't forget, like and subscribe. It helps me out. It's a free thing you can do. See you later. Bye.